The Massacre at Chios by Eugene Delacroix. Introduction. So, Eugene Delacroix was a prominent French Romantic painter known for his emotive and dramatic style, emphasizing individualism, emotion, and the sublime. Romanticism emerged as a reaction against the rationalism of the Enlightenment ideals. His various artworks have depicted scenes of violence, heroism, and passion, reflecting his emphasis on emotion and imagination. This project will focus primarily on The Massacre at Chios, one of his works of art, in respect to its historical context, artistic techniques, symbols, and influence on art and society. The objective is to analyze how his romantic ideals manifest in portraying tragedy and human suffering, especially in this painting. Historical context. The Chios massacre occurred in 1822 during the Greek War of Independence from Ottoman rule. This sparked international outrage and humanitarian responses, influencing not only public opinion but also artistic expression across Europe. The Ottoman forces massacred tens of thousands, I believe around 30,000, on the island of Chios, resulting in widespread devastation, death, and enslavement. Delacroix, who considered himself a classical painter, was deeply affected by the massacre's brutality and chose to depict the tragic event in this painting. The Massacre at Chios. And this right here is a painting. So here are some artwork details about it. It's currently located at the Louvre Museum in Paris. And as you can see, there are vibrant colors, dynamic brushwork, and all of this helps intensify the emotional impact and dramatic effect of it. The depth and dynamism draws the viewer into all of this chaos and the harrowing scene. Delacroix's monumental painting captures the aftermath of the Chios massacre, depicting scenes of chaos, suffering, and despair among the Greek civilians. Artistic analysis. And by the way, these pictures are other works of art from him, but the text will be referring back to the massacre. So starting off with the composition, Delacroix depicts confusion and horror at the massacre by using a jumbled mass of figures and avoiding any central focal point. This composition reinforces the sense of movement and drama, drawing the viewer into the chaotic scene. Color. Vivid contrasts of light and dark increase the emotional impact of the painting. Delacroix selectively uses color in relation with moments of suffering and despair. These colors emphasize the brutality of the historical event. Brushwork. The style adopted by Delacroix has rather loose and expressive strokes, typical of the Romantic era. This lends a feeling of urgency to the depiction of raw emotion. This dynamic brushwork helps to create a visceral and emotive work altogether. Symbolism. There is symbolism and elements within the painting that refers back to innocence, brutality, and human suffering, which I will expand on here. Symbolism and themes. Suffering and despair. The artist conveys the agony and despair of the victims through the painting. Again, the massacre, not these ones. Wherein every figure is seen in some different distracted position, hence this depicting the toll on human lives due to this massacre. Innocence and brutality. Delacroix juxtaposes the innocent civilians against the harsh, violent acts that the Ottoman soldiers had taken up in order to bring out the sharp contrast between innocence and brutality. Themes. Humanity and inhumanity. The painting emphasizes profound expression of the depths of human misery and the capacity for cruelty, using bold images to challenge the audience's perception of the worst aspects of humanity. Historical and moral commentary. Delacroix uses the massacre at Chios to remark on greater issues such as war, resistance, and the struggle for freedom, and tries to draw the empathy of the viewer towards this moral reflection. Impact and legacy. The painting influenced a great deal of artists later, and the techniques that he used in color, dynamic composition, and emotional articulation became typical of Romanticism and its paintings. This influenced a whole generation of future artists, such as Theodore Géricault. The Massacre of Chios is housed in the Louvre Museum in Paris, as mentioned earlier, and it still attracts visitors who wish to engage in discourses on art, history, and human rights. And I just thought this quote was pretty cool. What moves men of genius, or rather what inspires their work, is not new ideas, but their obsession with the idea that what has already been said is still not enough. I thought it would apply to this painting especially because everybody already knows about the tragedies of massacres and all the human suffering, but he just wanted to really emphasize it and highlight what happened. And here are the sources.